Farrell, Canada, and Waddell. Basically a five-guard lineup starting against one of the tallest teams on the planet in Harrison, Lyles, Towns, and Cauley Stein. And we're underway.
Look at the mismatches size-wise. It's unreal. That just makes that upset. I said last 36 years, I'll extend it. What about maybe the history of the game?
Now here's Auburn's first trip into the front court.
Bruce told me they're going to control the clock. They want to shorten the game, and they got to make threes. They got to rain threes.
Did a good job of that yesterday, a season high tying 11. Here's Canada, who played very well yesterday, and a good start for Malcolm Canada.
I tell you, Canada did a phenomenal job. He was a key in that victory over LSU.
He had 14 points and 5 rebounds last night.
You're in Kentucky right now. You got to watch for a little complacency, but right there, that shuts up any complacency.
Aaron Harrison knocks down the three.
They are so deep, the Cats. Big Blue Nation has a lot to be proud of. To be undefeated this time of the year, Brad, is special.
Kentucky had really no problem with Florida yesterday in the second half. First half was competitive, 64-49. They won that game, and again, they held an opponent under 55 points, which they've done so many times this year, 25 times, if you can believe that. 10 on the shot clock.
So they're taking the clock right down. They're going to try to manage that clock.
Harrell for three, air ball, handled by Karl Anthony Towns underneath.
He was challenged.
Cauley Stein against Canada. That's about a foot difference over a year ago. And Willie got them both.
Full court pressure. They're going to try to speed up the game a little bit. Kentucky obviously wants to play at a faster pace.
Canada's going straight up with it. So they're going to shoot threes. But here comes Kentucky with the Harrison twins. Now the lob to Cauley Stein. Andrew Harrison got the three.
Great inside-outside action. Ball goes inside, bring it to the perimeter.
So both Harrison twins have hit from outside the arc, and it's an immediate 6-point lead in the opening 2 minutes.
It was interesting. I looked at the minutes played. Tyler Eulis played 32 minutes, as much as anybody for Kentucky yesterday.
Led them in assists yesterday, had 7 points as well. And he is lightning quick, the freshman guard. Right in there right now as Auburn has it knocked up. Harrell will inbound with 10 on the shot clock. They work it around. Mason on the drive, and he's fouled. Antoine, you can tell, and he has not had the greatest tournament or the leading scorer in the game.
And what really was a special moment, his dad in the hospital was able to witness that. His son getting that 29. What is there not to like with this Kentucky team? They got all the components in looking at a basketball team that coaches dream of having. They got it all. They play on the defensive end. They got size. They got athleticism. They got depth. I'm going to give you the rest of the nation. I'm taking Kentucky to win the whole national title.
So this is not going to be the biggest upset you've ever seen them today. Foul.
He's in another world.
Anthony Davis would be coming in.
The V Foundation.
That would be good.
Yeah. You're helping people.
What if Anthony Davis would have stayed in school and throw him in on this team? Then we got a team.
Wow. And we said bring on the Knicks and everybody else.
Ross Miller ran out of real estate on the baseline.
Boy, you get too far behind, you got to start speeding up the game, and that all leads to Kentucky's favor.
It's been so fun to watch Auburn's run here. They started spring football practice, and I think a lot of people were thinking, well, that's the only thing we can pay attention to.
And he has to manage his emotions on the sideline. He can't get his players too emotional. He's got to try to stay as calm as he can.
There's the 3-point.
That was their first 3 SEC tournament games that they won.
Talking about Charles last night. He said one game was for the team, one was for the Auburn fans. There's Chuck. And last night was for Charles Barkley because he's been on him all season long. Harrell had a great look. Didn't drop the three.
Had a wide open look. He's so happy that Charles has really come back with the program. He's helping him in many ways.
Lyles pull up. 17-footer goes.
He's special talent as well. Lyles has that ability for the perimeter as well as go to the goal.
Block shot. Cauley Stein got it. It's supposed to be country music, not the blues. It's the blues in town this week. Long inbounds pass. 11-point lead as you hear the chants that go Big Blue.
Kentucky has not won this tournament the last 3 years. This is the one thing that they have not been able to put on that legend John Calipari the last 3 years.
Had a different champion every year for the last 4. Mason almost had it stripped, and now he knew he had to get it up there in a hurry. If somebody's going to accidentally upset them, it's...
And that was great watching that Auburn and Coach Brown and his kids going, wow. People, there's the perfect example. Say, oh, these tournaments don't mean nothing. Oh, really? Tell it to the kids at Belmont from Nashville. Tell it to Manhattan. Tell it to Albany. They do mean something to those kids.
Carl Anthony Towns and Lyles, 2 of the freshmen on the floor right now. The Harrison twins as well. That's Andrew who missed the 3.
That's the first shot they missed.
Good rebound for Mason. And he goes coast to coast. He said he's going to have to step up, and so far he has.
Nice strong drive by Mason. You look at the size, what a differential here. It's unbelievable. But it's not only size, Brad, it's the athleticism, the length.
That one rims out. And Auburn with a rebound. Well, the Portland Trailblazers are the only team in the world bigger than Kentucky is, and they play at the next level.
What an achievement by these kids here. Try to shorten the game a little bit. Beat Mississippi State, as you said, and then win over, well, Texas A&M as well, LSU.
Yeah. Mason, a little too strong on the 3. Cauley Stein all alone for the rebound.
You're not going to see many second and third opportunities for Auburn, I can tell you that.
Andrew Harrison on the drive around Thompson, drew the foul. Next to Green.
He was an
the free throw line. And
but to be able to get them to buy in, to play limited minutes in today's day and age where everybody's about themselves, basically, in terms of everybody wants stats, and to be able to sell that, that's coaching. Yep. That's psychology of coaching.
Another of the freshman All-Americans, McDonald's All-Americans in there right now. Tyler Ulis guarding Ross Miller way out and pushing him almost to midcourt with his defense.
He's taking him side to side. Never allow him to go north-south. Make him go east-west.
And stripped. A.T. Harrell with the ball. Turnover Auburn in their second. Deep 3 for Aaron Harrison. Got it.
Great ball movement. Reverse the ball. Aaron, a shooter. Last year made some big shots in their run to the final game.
They stretched their lead to a dozen here. 13 and a half to go in the first half. Harrell tried to fade away to get a shot off, and he's fouled by Aaron. Aaron inbound pass taken by Andrew Harrison. He's pushed from behind before he gets initiating wise he can break this week. And now they're going to have to do about 90% blue today. There's some Auburn fans that have been here this week, though. Wouldn't expect to be here this long.
Zone right now. Give on a man-to-man. Nope, not to the man-to-man.
Andrew Harrison. Here's Booker from the elbow. Got it.
He can flat out shoot. He's one of the premier shooters in the nation.
It was a quick foul and at least sending a message to Marcus Lee in this case.
Yeah, silly play right there. Just a silly play. I love the way they dig in defensively. It starts right here on the perimeter. Pressure on the basketball. Ulis does a great job with that.
Thompson over Lee had a 3 rim out. And Booker ahead to Ulis.
Very nice combination, man. Booker and Ulis.
The smoke clears. We're approaching 12 and a half minutes. It's a 14-point lead for Kentucky.
Struggle right now for Auburn to score. Really a struggle. They're matching up on the perimeter. They're taking away the looks of the threes. They can't get great 3 opportunities. Look at you young kids out there. Watch a guy play defense. Great balance, great stance. She's ball man when that guy doesn't have the ball.
Harrell got a 3 away, but it was contested. And the rebound is Kentucky. Straight up with it, Andrew Harrison, who's had a hot opening 8 minutes to this game.
They're playing well, man. They're playing defense. It's going to be a tough afternoon here for Auburn's Tigers.
And
He mentions about one more school. micromanage almost every possession, a lot of schools and a lot of coaches. And number three, I think what's affected it is really the sophistication with the scouting reports now, where they know players' tendencies, their strengths, their weaknesses. They're able to zero in, making it very difficult for guys to get shots. We're seeing it here today. They know about Harrell and his shooting ability and his zoning right now, and they're really matching up, taking away any looks that he can get for a threat.
Don't know that we'll be able to tell in the NIT, but the NIT will go to a 30-second shot clock in the postseason starting this coming week, and we'll see if that has any effect. It might be kind of hard to tell with some of the teams that will be in the NIT, but at least it's an experience and an experiment that we'll have next week. Thompson air ball to the other side. Mason grabs it there. His shot clock continues to run. It didn't hit anything.
He got a wide open one.
He played great on night one at a career-high 16 points, but he hasn't done much since.
You know, LSU, in fairness to that, really, they missed a lot of free throws, but really Jordan Mickey was hurting.
Yeah. His shoulder, he only had a point last night and then got in that fracas, and that took him mentally out of the game and ended up fouling out. 2 on the shot clock. Fade away by Canada. Got it up there in time. And Reed trying to battle for the rebound. And he walked first Super Tuesday of the season in early January and let him off the hook. And Arkansas won that game. Georgia would like to get a little payback. And with that, a trip to the SEC title game tomorrow.
Iowa State, Kansas, another good basketball game. Such a tough job this year. Might be one of the
7 o'clock with live sports center updates at 5:30. All that on ESPN tomorrow. Karl Anthony Towns with a couple of free throws, and the lead expands to 16 again.
It's amazing how Willie Cauley-Stein can play so many different people defensively. He can guard people on the perimeter, on the wing, on the interior. It's great to see some kids get recognition other than filling up their stat sheet and scoring.
And there's 3 guys rejecting the shot of T.J. Lang. On the other end, Towns lost it out of bounds.
Hey, the final game beats Duke.
A.T. Harrell's been held scoreless today as a solid graphic after a sensational run the last 3 days, including 29 yesterday. Here he is on the drive against the tall timber, and he's going to get a 81% free throw shooter.
He's averaged yesterday 13 and 12, and he only played 25 minutes.
Yeah.
If that kid played minutes, his numbers would be unbelievable.
Past the midway point of the first half, Kentucky by 14. Perfect from the free throw line.
Harrell's first scores.
Pull up by Ulis. Dakari Johnson with the foul.
There's the size differential inside. That's pure size. It's not a lack of hustle by Auburn, it's just size.
Lowest guy on the floor right now is Waddell for Auburn, and he's given away about 8 inches in height to anybody that's down low for Kentucky.
And the big thing is not just the height, it's the ability to have their agility, their mobility.
Harrell, that one halfway down, comes back out, and Ulis will bring it up for Kentucky.
Ulis really increases the tempo of the game when he's on the floor, both offensively and defensively.
Right. Cauley-Stein, easy cross-court pass, and Andrew Harrison offensive foul. Andrew Harrison stays out there with the 2 fouls. His brother's on the bench with 2. Dakari Johnson now way out guarding Ross Miller. So there's another 7-foot guy out on the perimeter.
That's what they do really well, their big guys. Their big guys do rotate. Finally, one goes down from out there.
And Dakari Johnson backed off just for a half second, and Casey Rossmiller took advantage of it with a 3. Now they're going to call it a 2.
He stepped on the line. Miller made it count from the perimeter. There's a ball screen up on top.
Andrew Harrison jumper. Rebound, Ulis, smallest guy on the floor, got the board, and Cauley-Stein knocks it down.
Well, Cauley-Stein should run over and give Ulis a hug, man. He created that opportunity for him, the little guy. He's a giant with the balls in his hands.
Ross Miller on the baseline, dribbles through all that traffic. All that did was take time off the clock.
Handled the ball well. Here they come. Run, baby, run. Put it to this guy's like the little engine. Look at him.
Wrap around the Collins down. What a pass.
And at 11.3.
And they have a bunch of players now that are number one. Here it is again.
No
There
bounce
it
out.
is.
Bakari Johnson gets an easy flush after the missed free throw. Lead goes to 20.
Total mismatch. I mean, it's an M&M. It is. You don't have to be a genius to figure this out. Even a dummy like me can see.
Burrell, anytime he can get a little bit of space is if he's 30 feet away from the basket. And now he's got Cauley Stein, a 7-footer, chasing around on the baseline.
You can only do so much as a coach, but after a while, you got to tip your hat and look at the talent level that you're competing with.
Ross Miller and KC said, "Tell Dickie V I love him."
I love.
Ross Miller got them both. 4 for KC. There's 6:40 remaining in the half, an 18-point Kentucky advantage.
Well, the one thing John Calipari will do, they will not play the scoreboard. They will play hard, and they will play within their system. Taking everybody's best shot all year.
Lyles on the baseline. The truck just told me 26th and 27th when the concert starts. Forget it, Chesty.
Well, North Carolina really playing so well, very effective offensively.
Duke and Virginia, everybody thought was going to be there, Dick. And,
Yep.
and is Virginia in danger of losing one seed, you think?
Well, that's an interesting question. Some people say that. I can't see it. If you look at their body of work all year, I think both Duke and Virginia deserve to be on that first line. The only question I have, though, is if Wisconsin wins the Big Ten, they might be able to push them out of that number one.
Mason got a three.
He's dancing.
Timeout, and John Wisconsin in that bracket, right?
Instead of one team that has the size inside, Kaminsky's a great outside player. Talk about Hayes and Decker. They would be a dangerous team. Plus, they played Kentucky right to the wire last year, so they're not going to be intimidating.
Anderson for Virginia being injured, though, and not being a factor. I'm sure they'll think about that, won't they? Booker misses a three.
All those things are supposed to be discussed.
Burrell got his man in the air, and then he got help. He got Harrison to run by, and then Booker got in the way of that three-pointer.
Tell you one thing about the Auburn kids. They're competing. They are competing. They're playing as hard as they can.
Cauley Stein turn around, and Ross Miller with a rebound for Auburn, and the Tigers pushing it. He's going to try to go coast to coast here.
Oh.
There's what happens. You get blocked by two guys. Lyles the other way, and one.
The people down in Indiana, Hoosier country. He originally committed to Indiana, changed his mind, went to Kentucky. He would have been such a plus for them. They're a little bit on a bubble. They got to be a nervous wreck down there, the Hoosiers. UCLA's got a little nervous.
So Lyles, who averages 8, already has 8 here in the first half. He's one of the 5-minute mark. Mason tried to contort his body. So Andrew Harrison back out there again. A couple of fouls on him. His brother has 2. Marcus Lee, who's on the floor, has 2 for Kentucky.
Foul problems don't really become a big problem with Kentucky because of their depth. They are so deep.
Carl Anthony
Just Charleston Southern. So all of those factors, you got a lot of teams like that.
to this team in overtime, 73-70. So is LSU. He does have them in, but it's nervous time right now. Depends on what else goes on around the country. But they didn't help themselves, neither of those teams for sure.
You know, I was going to say, Brad, I have a problem with a team that wins 25 in a row, and they're on the bubble, and you give them Murray State. I don't care who you play. A lot of big guys don't want to play. When you win 25 in a row, go winning 25 in a row.
Got the second one.
People realize what a tough job it's been in terms of when you look at Bruce Pearl stepping in, trying to rebuild the program. His personality, his work ethic, his incredible ability to get the most out of players is certainly going to be a positive there for Auburn. You watch them in 3-4 years.
Plus, he's got the Auburn faithful fired up, as he is a showman. Obviously, you know that. He worked for us before that at Tennessee, kind of lit that program up. And it's going to be fun to watch Auburn grow.
What a combination they were, he and Mr. Jordan.
Nice cut to the basket by Ross Miller. He got the reverse layup.
Nice play. Good movement without the basketball, right to the goal. Very rarely you see that happen. I mean, they're right there, 14 down. And they're not quitting. They're battling. Got as high as 20.
Shannon was over there around the Kentucky huddle on that last time out, Shannon.
That's right. You know, Brad, coming into this tournament, Coach Calipari, he told his guys, I just want 2 to 3% extra. How about that for extra? That's a little extra.
That was 3% extra. That's just outside the arc.
He wanted 2 to 3% extra from each of his guys. He said, listen, it doesn't have to be 20%, just a little bit more. And for every guy, it was a little different. In that last huddle, Devin Booker, 2 hands. He told him over and over again, you got to have 2 hands. You have to play perfect to be perfect.
Well, Kentucky didn't have to play until yesterday, a double bye being the #1 seed. And at the practice yesterday, before the 2 days ago, before the other teams played, Cal told me, he said, you know what, at this point of the year, I don't want to practice anymore. I'm sick of them. They're sick of me. We just want to play ball. We want to play games. Well, now it's game. And they hope it's all the way to 40-0. At least the Kentucky fans are hoping that. Casey Rossmiller, as he did in night 1, helping out offensively right now for Auburn, as he's got 8.
He had a tough shot, too, Rossmiller, and that was a tough look right there.
Booker, heat check, same spot. This one rims out. And Auburn's got the rebound. I got to give them credit. They're down 15.
Absolutely, playing hard.
Yeah.
They're battling. A lot of intensity, a lot of emotion.
Mason working against Booker with the scoop shot. Marcus Lee got a... There he is, up with the gang on the platform. That's all coming up in a little less than 2 minutes.
I'll be joining Carl after this game and at halftime of the second game.
So you get to talk some more up there?
Yeah, have a little fun. Talk a little baseball with Carl.
John Farnham will be with me for the second semifinal game. Stein. That's something you don't see him do a lot of, but he's got a good mid-range jump shot.
I always tease him when I see him. I say, you tease me with your offensive skills. He says, I'm going to a tournament, I got to score a little more.
Burrell not out there right now for Auburn. So Mason's their best scorer like that.
Nice drive by Mason. Nobody rotates over. I'm going to tell you one thing. Bruce Pearl has to be happy with the effort of his kids. I know the scoreboard doesn't.
I'm one of only 2 coaches in history that's been able to take 3 different programs.
With an agent. Derrick Rose was rumors about his SAT scores. Bruce Pearl's had problems. Obviously, we know of Tennessee. He apologized. He's admitted what he made. He made some mistakes.
Again, Auburn having problems today with Simeon Bowers out for some reason, suspended for the game. Bruce made that announcement about 15 minutes before the game. So if you're just joining us, Auburn is hanging in there or trying to with 2 starters out. Jordan Granger being the other one after being involved in a fight last night, throwing a punch. So he was kicked out of the game. And so 2 guys that would be starting for Auburn not even on the floor or in the building. Well, one's in the building. 5 on the shot clock. Mason just got a hoisted over Booker and he drew a
extension up. A lot of bubble teams out there are certainly
Rocket basketball tomorrow night.
No, after tomorrow night's selection show, I'm going to Indianapolis. I got a big deal to do out there and have a little fun. Take my bride with me. 43 years, man. She has to be a saint living with me.
Oh, she's already been canonized a long time ago.
Show some patience right here, Kentucky. I got your beautiful daughter sitting to my right. Reese.
I should be up for sainthood for having her. Andrew Harrison.
He's playing well. Really playing well. Shooting the ball well. John Calipari wants him to attack more, penetrate.
Final seconds. Wraparound pass. Quick 3. Waddell. It's not going to go.
Individual players. In fact, he admitted he didn't even look at the scoreboard until he walked off for halftime. But he did mention the free throws, particularly Auburn getting to that line. We can't be doing that, is what he said.
Auburn got to the line 15 times, and they hit 13, and they have the opening basket of the second half.
I'll tell you one thing. There's no way he can convince me he didn't look at the scoreboard. Shannon, I'll tell you right now.
Steps up again. 2, 2, and 2.
Sitting there. Offensive show they put on, but it's getting back to Mason. He must like Kentucky. He's got 43 points against them in 2 games.
Kentucky, by the way, shot 58% in the first half. Their season high field goal percentage was almost 65%, and that was against Auburn with the 110 points, which was also a season high that they put up in the regular season games. Canada trying to drive against Towns. Nice move, just didn't finish it. And now Carl Anthony, the big guy, leading to the other big guy on the break. And Cauley Stein put the brakes out and brings it back out to a guard.
Chad Ford's got him rated way up there. He's got Okafor and Mr. Towns 1 and 2.
Booker. And no basket. Foul.
Kentucky got an L Storm in the NBA. He has a little patience right now, trying to shorten that clock a little bit. So outmanned, personnel-wise.
And again, it's Cauley-Stein on Harrell. 7 on the shot clock. Mason might have to hoist one here. Does. And he drew a foul. And it continued through yesterday.
Hours preparing for the game, because I got to be very honest.
Lovely Lorraine Vitale last night, huh?
Oh, Vince Gill, terrific guy. He pulled Lorraine and I on the stage and had us dance to a song called Look at Us, which is about 40-plus years of marriage.
It's a basketball fan, big-time Vanderbilt fan, as a matter of fact. Usually
right there, good friend of Sean Brook.
Cauley-Stein got it back. Got it again. Ended up with a three-point play out of it the hard way.
Second time. You ever see that show Nashville with Chip Epson?
I have.
Yeah, great job he does.
Happens to be an ABC show, so we can talk about that if we want to.
Oh, what a nice play right there.
You're just sitting nodding. ABC, ESPN,
yeah, right,
Disney.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I get it. I get it. Synchronizing. I'll tell you right now, when you got a game that's looks like a blowout, start talking about everything. Grand Ole Opry. The free throw line a lot. I mean, it was tough enough coming in here, but to lose 2 starters before the game that you didn't expect, that's unbelievable.
Canada for 3.
He played well, as you said yesterday, in the win over LSU. To lose Bowers in particular before the game, we found out about 15 minutes before the game.
Well, I mean, they came out to warm up in the second half. They didn't have enough guys to do a layup line.
Real. I'm talking about their rebounder. I mean, one of the premier rebounders in the conference.
Harrison thought about a 3, so did Booker.
Look at the size inside now. See, if you're really Cauley-Stein, you're going to want the ball. You're going to want the ball.
Some penetration by Harrison. Has to kick it out to Booker with 5 on the shot clock, and he knocks it down.
Why not go outside to the guy that can flat out shoot? He's had a terrific diaper dandy year.
Mason for 3. Yes.
Mason putting up big numbers here. He looks at Lyles. He's going to shove right over the top of you.
Lead 15 as we approach 16 to play.
No quitting those kids. No quit. They reflect their coach. He's a fighter. Scrapper Bruce Pearl, and his kids are going to battle and battle and battle.
18 for Antoine Mason. We said at the top of the game they were going to need his scoring, and he's come through for him. Harrison twins on the floor with Cauley-Stein, Marcus Lee, and Devin Booker.
See, I think Willie Cauley-Stein's too passive offensively.
Not asking for it right now. He almost got it. 12 o'clock here in Nashville.
Kentucky beat the Razorbacks by 17. Beat Georgia twice, but both games were really battles. Beat them by 11 and beat them by 8. One they played without Thornton. You did both games.
Yep. Mason, who's been the star for Auburn, got a good look. Again, you get in there. Plus 5 in the scoring column and 41%. Today, a different story. Rossmiller is all alone under the basket, but by that time,
again, to beat them right over him. He's very honest. He's right over me.
Kenny Skywalker, one of the greats in Kentucky basketball. 5 on the shot clock. Harrell in traffic. And which doesn't sound all that bad, and he does. 55-42.
And that little life right there. Look at
Auburn fans are standing.
Yeah, Auburn fans. They're going to appreciate their effort. They know they're really playing shorthanded, playing against the #1 team in America, a team shooting for perfection, 32-0, and they're never quitting.
Foul out of these faces, which was pretty awesome.
And they
Towns perfect from the free throw line. 6 for 6.
Nice follow through, great rotation.
Thompson and Reed in the lineup for Auburn. That's the end of their bench pretty much. Down 2 starters. Mason pull up over Cauley-Stein. Nice shot.
Tell you one thing, he's putting points on the board. As you said earlier, he's going to have to score. Had not played as well here earlier.
Stein trying to get a pass down low. Thompson got a hand on it, and Kentucky turns it over.
I will stick to my statement on the top of the show. If Auburn was to pull a miracle, it would be the greatest upset ever in my 36 years at ESPN.
KT Harrell, if that three to gone, it would be a 10-point game, and it almost dropped in.
He's so close. Tantalizing.
Booker's going to go to the free throw line.
Fourth game in 4 days.
Checking in with Shannon.
Well, Brad, KT Harrell told me this morning that the turning point for this tournament for these guys happened in game one. They started to get on each other, started to argue a little bit, and Harrell spoke up, and he told the guys, listen, we need to come together. We need to hold each other accountable, but we need to be confident in what we're doing. And absolutely, he said, that is what has led them to this very point. Watching them on the bench, you can see that they're frustrated, but you can certainly see that they are together, one unit.
Yeah, he was the leader last night, too, and a few guys put their head down a little bit. He said, chin up, we still got a shot at this, and he was right. He's the guy that won it in overtime. Took it inside that time and didn't score. Here comes Kentucky the other way. Aaron Harrison trying to go up and under.
This is, they're not won an SEC tournament game to beat Xavier. That was really an impressive win for them. I like that Xavier team.
Aaron Harrison stretches it back out to a 17-point advantage. 22 of 25 from the line for Kentucky. You win a lot of basketball games that way.
Free throw line so big, especially getting the NCAA. Big dance, you got to make those at the end of games.
Canada is going to take the jump shot. Snatch the rebound. Carl Anthony Towns and knock Thompson out of bounds all in one move.
There was no doubt he was getting that rebound.
Booker runs into traffic and an offensive foul, I think.
You're right about Westbrook. He's been unbelievable. He's been a triple-double guy.
Yeah. Brad Nessler, Dick Vitale, Shannon Spake, Carl Ravitch, Sean Farnham, all here with our ESPN crew. Bridgestone Arena.
Great job with that. Selling that, certainly the recruits.
Got a nice arena down there that's not that old, not brand new, but 2 or 3 years old. Harrison in the paint. That's goaltending. Are in double figures now. Andrew with 12, Aaron with 10.
Those two guys took a lot of criticism earlier in the year, especially when they didn't play as well. People were saying, well, play Ulis and Booker. Play
The baseline from Thompson. Harrell looking for a screen. Looking for a shot on the drive. Great run. And not only his friendship is inside, he is the classiest guy around, and we're going to miss him for sure. He'll still be around, obviously, but Greg Sankey named the other day as the new commissioner of the Southeastern Conference. But I don't know if anybody can do it as good as Mike's done it.
He's done a great job. He really has. Talked to him before the game, and just a terrific guy.
Lead is the biggest now for Kentucky after that three by Harrison. On the drive, Canada again. The shot.
I'll tell you one thing, Shannon. You got to be a little realistic, and I think he's realistic here. He knows his kids are giving a supreme effort. They're just outmatched almost at every position.
Yeah, they don't have anything to be embarrassed about, no matter what the score ends up being in this game. After playing this many days in a row, just to get here was a major accomplishment. Here's Ulis from three-point land. Cauley Stein, the rebound, the putback.
Could be 4 games in 4 days. Starting to take its toll on him right now. Willie Cauley Stein could be as good as he wants to be.
Mason, who's been the star for Auburn today, can't get it in close. And again, just the height of Lyles and company snatching down the rebound.
And it's also their physical presence. They're so physical. Plus, they got a coach that doesn't stop. He coaches and coaches every moment. That was a great article. People should get him when Nicole Harbach wrote in USA Today. A terrific article about him. Guy's taking a lot of heat from a lot of people. You better start respecting what he has achieved and what he has done.
Midway point of the second half, and it's a 27-point Kentucky lead. They won the regular season game by 35. Well,
my friend, it looks like the greatest upset in your history is not going to happen. The best out, teacher Aunt Susie, and wish her all the luck in the world. I like this kid when he's on the floor. I really do. How could you not like
He's
Tyler?
so quick.
Tyler Eulis. They're going to change direction. Flip
Allows it to Lyles, who tried a one-hand slam. Couldn't get it to go. Canada the other way, and he's going to take it all the way. Hoping for 5 tournament teams. The dominant national team's the one wearing the white out here today.
They are dominant. They are dominant with a capital D.
I gave you a new saying, dominant with a capital D.
Yeah, I like
You'll probably trademark that now, right? Harrison wanted to get it into Dakari Johnson. He's working it underneath. It's going to be Harrison instead taking the shot. And a push off underneath on the rebound. 18 more to go. They had that figured out a long time. A.T. Harrell misses the second. College down another rebound.
Auburn, no matter what the score is, you can't minimize what they did to get into this situation.
Absolutely. Wins over Mississippi State, Texas A&M, LSU in overtime yesterday.
And they only won 4 games in the conference all year long. They won 3 in 72 hours.
Here's the three-pointer again. Easy rebound off the backside by Towns. And a reset of the shot clock.
See, now Willie Colastein can score easily in that low box if he wanted the ball. He's a very passive guy on the offensive end.
He's about 9 inches taller than the guy that's pretending to guard him. Eulis, open 3. Got it.
A little inside, outside. Tyler Eulis, what a player he has been for the Cats this season. You know, it puts a lot of pressure every day in practice on the Drew Harrisons when you got 2 guys like Eulis and Booker in practice challenging every day.
2 guys that could start anywhere in the country.
Anywhere.
Harrell going against a couple of Leitner Sunday at 9 o'clock on ESPN.
As a college player, he was one of the top college.
Shot by Leitner.
That was a magical moment for people at Duke University. Grant Hill with that pass.
Yep. Whistle foul underneath.
With like 13 losses, you got to sit there on a bubble bath. Well, the Cats have 5 guys in double figures. They did a great job here on the free throw line as well.
They had 5 guys in double figures the first time these 2 teams met in the regular season.
You know, staying motivated for the kids of Kentucky, very tough. That's part of coaching. Being motivated. I talked to Reese Davis about that today in the game day show. And Reese was got a great point there, talking about how they're going to maintain their energy and motivational ability. But they do that because their coach is a tremendous motivator. Every moment, that's what he's doing. He's giving them all kinds of sayings. Like Shannon said earlier, telling them they want 2-3% more out of each kid. Because that's realistic. You say, I want 100% more. It's not realistic. Not realistic.
Coach, we're 32-0. I can't give you 100% more.
Him to take Karl Anthony Towns out and
Team like, I don't want to fight you over this. I don't want to fight you. But I will if I have to. That means you guys play the way I want to. I won't yell and scream. You don't play the way I want it, you're going to be sitting next to me.
You can do that when you got the kind of personnel he has, and the depth that he has. And he's not afraid to let his emotions out.
Another rejection this time by Towns.
Look at him filling the lane. Look at him filling the lane.
Harrison to Lyles.
That's big time. That's big time. You put that in the clinic, man. You put that in the clinic. Block the shot, transition game, conversion and score. Kentucky basketball excelling in every area.
Lyles with 12 now after that great feed from Harrison. 6.5 to go. 79-51. Biggest lead of the ball game.
What I love about them, they're not afraid to share the ball with one another. They enjoy playing.
Nice shot by Canada for 3. That's his second triple of the half. 12 for the game.
Tell you one thing, Canada's a battler. You can see he has that fierce competitive spirit. I was looking up John Calipari talking about draft picks. He's coached 30 NBA draft picks in his career, 21 first-round picks. That's unbelievable.
It is. Andrew Harrison tried to switch to hit it with the left hand. Canada coming the other way. Ross Miller wanted to take a 3. Instead, the wraparound pass is picked off.
Tell you one thing, you look at those 21 first-round draft choices, I'd like to get 1% of their action.
Yeah. Wouldn't mind being the agent.
I want to be your agent, man. I want to be your agent.
Yeah, right. Somebody's already got that job stealing money from me. Towns, air ball. Canada, up and in, slide.
There for the rest of the SEC.
Canada doesn't get the three-point play, missed the free throw. So with Towns out, Dakari Johnson comes back in. Here's a steal by Auburn. Ahead, Canada with a flush.
Trying to put points on the board. They're going to look great in the memory book about 10 years from now when you tell your kids, well, I beat Kentucky all they can handle, man.
That was a career high, as a matter of fact, for Malcolm Canada. He can say my career high came against Kentucky in the SEC tournament.
That's right.
Pull-up jumper by Harrison.
Tell you one thing, the Harrisons are going to want to talk about the success of wearing that uniform. They want to close it out with that big national championship.
Kentucky fans right now sitting quietly wondering if their team will get to 100 here in the next 4.5 minutes.
I'm really curious on thinking about tomorrow, looking at the second line and looking at who's number 2 in Kentucky's region. The two teams, Wisconsin and Gonzaga. Gonzaga has the ability to match up.
Burrell trying to race by everybody, gives it to Canada on the baseline, and that one halfway home and comes back out. Stein backing in against Terrell.
You can tell me he can't average better than 9 points a game or whatever. I mean, come on now. I know the minutes are limited. He's got so much talent.
What a game today. 18 and 7 with 3 block shots and probably 6 more that he altered by Auburn underneath. There's a whistle and a foul.
Teams to be undefeated regular season and to come into UNLV. Yeah, UNLV. 91-92. Jerry Tarkanian, maybe rest in peace. And then St. Joe's, as you said, with Jameer Nelson.
Well, Kentucky's going to be 1 game away from that. If they get through Georgia or Arkansas tomorrow in the championship game that we'll have for you on ESPN, 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock local time here at Bridgestone in Nashville.
I'll tell you one thing, if it's Georgia and you were there, they're not intimidated at all. They played Kentucky right to the end 2 times.
Marcus Lee couldn't find the handle. Kentucky turns it over. The thing about Georgia is
Wisconsin, they have a system. They fill those blanks in that system.
For KT today, certainly an all-tournament team performer, even though Auburn's going to lose this game this afternoon, because the show he put on the last 3 days was as impressive as any we've seen in this tournament in a while.
I agree with you. He's got to be all tournament. There's no doubt. If Kentucky were to win, I think you give the MVP to the team. It's a team. They're not any individual. They're all about a team. There's that ball screen up on top. He's moving. Should be called an illegal screen. You got to be stationary. So I'm going to be a zebra now. I'm going to be a zebra.
Whoa, they're going to send instead of checks.
Did not have the kind of personnel.
A couple of days before this.
Is the fact that, you know, you let your team down. You lose your emotions. You got to think about other people. You can't be selfish.
Burrell. I don't even know how he got that shot around Dakari Johnson. Didn't make it.
Trying to get Willis on the board.
Derek Willis.
Oh, what a nice pass.
Lob to Marcus Lee.
You guys that don't get a lot of PT, a lot of scoring, they're not using that platoon as much as like they did earlier this year. They're playing guys that are performing.
Oh, what a shot by Mason.
Mason's had a big day. Big
23.
Day. 29 the first time. That's 52. That's 26 a game.
That's something he can tell his kids. I scored that many points in 2 games against Kentucky. They were pretty good on defense.
And you better believe he'll be using that. He's getting a master's in education. Look at a nice gesture by Bruce Pearl, bringing in a whole new 5. He's going to go platoon system.
And And Harrell bumps Booker. Booker.
It's a dynamite duo, increase their minutes. I still got the #1 class coming in next year. Going to Paul B. acquired against people.
Thompson, deep three, went in, came out. And that's Kentucky ahead. Another rise. This one doesn't work. And now Dominique Hawkins will pull it out near midcourt.
I tell you, practice must be so interesting. See the talent level go at it every day.
Here's a lob to Lee, and they mishandled it, or he would have had it. And Waddell comes up with the miss.
I want to see one of these kids hit one. I want to see one of them hit one. Get in there. Get in there. Oh, get it in there.
Uh-oh. Get out of the way. They're not going to get to 100, but they got to 91. And they're going to go to 33-0.
33-0. They usually bring monuments for coaches with those kind of numbers, Mr. Nessler. I wish that goes in.
There is for Canada.
Yeah! Count it, baby. Talk about it when you get older to your kids. What a big moment. You think he's going to enjoy that shower?
I think so. Well, we're going to send Dick to the